Stop. Look at your hand. It looks solid, right? It feels heavy. If you punch a wall, it hurts. Now look at the light coming from your screen. It has no weight. It has no solidity. If you try to grab it, your hand goes right through it. We are taught that these are two different things. There is matter, the stuff you are made of, and there is energy, the stuff that moves matter around. But there is a massive, terrifying contradiction in physics that nobody talks about. Light carries energy. We know this because the sun burns your skin. Light carries momentum. We know this because lasers can push spaceships. But light has zero mass. Mathematically, a photon, a particle of light, does not exist as a physical object. It has no weight. It has no substance. So here is the question that should keep you up at night. How can nothing push something? If light has no mass, how can it hit you? How can a ghost punch a brick wall? The answer isn't just physics. The answer is a paradox so deep it suggests that mass itself is a lie. You think light is the energy? No. Light is the only real thing in the universe. You, the solid matter, you are just a ghost that learned to haunt itself. I'm going to show you why light isn't real energy and why you are not real matter. Let's shatter reality. Let's start with something you can feel right now. Go outside on a hot summer day. Close your eyes. Face the sun. What happens? You feel heat. You feel pressure. You feel the energy of the star hitting your skin, warming your blood, maybe even burning you if you stay too long. It feels physical. It feels real. Now, pick up a rock, throw it at a wall. Thwack! It hits. It makes a sound. It leaves a dent. Why did the rock hit the wall? Because the rock has mass. It has weight. It is made of atoms. It is stuff. In our universe, we have a very simple rule for realness. If something can hit you, it must have mass. If a truck hits you, it hurts because the truck is heavy. Even air, wind, can knock you over because air molecules have mass. But here is where physics breaks down. The light hitting your face, the light burning your skin, it has no mass. I don't mean it has very little mass. I don't mean it's lighter than a feather or an atom. I mean literally, mathematically, zero. A photon, the particle of light, has absolutely no weight. If you put a trillion photons on a scale, the scale would read 0.00. So look at the contradiction. On one hand, sunlight physically warms the earth. It drives weather. It pushes solar sails in space. It has punch. On the other hand, it is, by definition, a ghost. It has no physical body. So here is the impossible question I want you to hold in your head. How can nothing push something? If I told you a ghost punched me in the face, you'd call me crazy. You'd say, ghosts have no mass. They can't exert force. And yet, every single day, the sun punches the earth with enough energy to power our entire civilization for a year. Using particles that do not exist as matter, how is this possible? How can a zero-mass object carry a non-zero force? To understand this, we have to look at the man who first realized the universe was playing a trick on us, Isaac Newton. And we have to realize that for 300 years we've been using the wrong definition of force. Let's be honest, we all love Newton. He gave us the rules of the universe, the simple, clean, beautiful rules. One of his most famous laws, the second law of motion, is the bedrock of physics. It's on every engineering student's chalkboard. F equals ma. Force equals mass times acceleration. It's simple. It's intuitive. It's also the problem. Look at that equation again. F equals ma. It says if you want to have a force, if you want to push something, you need mass. If mass is zero, then force must be zero. Let's test this. Imagine you are in space, floating. You have a baseball. It has mass. You throw it. It accelerates. M times A equals F. You feel the pushback. Now imagine you have a flashlight. You turn it on. Light shoots out. The light has zero mass, so M equals 0. Therefore, F equals 0. According to Newton, that light should exert zero force. It should simply flow out of the flashlight without pushing back at all. And if you shine that light onto a solar sail, a giant mirror in space, it should exert zero force on the sail. It should just pass through or reflect without imparting any momentum. Because without mass, there is no stuff to do the pushing. But here is the terrifying part. It pushes. We have actually done this experiment. We have built solar sails. We have fired lasers at them. And guess what? They move. They accelerate. Wait, Newton said force requires mass. Light has no mass, yet light creates force. This is a direct contradiction. It breaks the law. Physics was stuck on this problem for a long time. It seemed impossible. It seemed like magic. How can a ghost push a wall? If Newton is right, then light shouldn't be able to do this. If light can do this, then Newton is wrong. Or maybe mass isn't what we think it is. Maybe we have been defining stuff completely wrong. Maybe the universe doesn't care about weight. Maybe it cares about something else entirely, something hidden. To find out what that hidden thing is, we have to look at the man who broke Newton's rules, Albert Einstein, and the equation that changed everything. Everyone knows Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times speed squared. It's beautiful, it's simple, it's perfect. It connects the two biggest things in the universe, energy and mass. But there is a catch, a massive, glaring catch. The equation is incomplete. Actually, it's wrong. Or at least, it's only half the story. You see, Einstein didn't just write E equals mc squared. He wrote a much longer, scarier equation. The full equation for special relativity is actually E2 is equal to nc squared plus or minus pc squared. Wait, don't panic. Look at that second part, pc squared. What is p? Momentum. This is the missing piece of the puzzle, the ghost in the machine. For you and me, chunks of matter sitting in a chair, our momentum is usually zero because we aren't moving fast. So for us, the equation simplifies to E equals mc squared. That's why you learned it in school. It works for stuff. It works for particles with mass. But for light? Remember, light has zero mass. So m becomes zero. The first part of the equation vanishes. Poof! Gone. Now look what's left. E equals pc. Energy equals momentum times speed of light. Wait, this changes everything. Light doesn't need mass to have energy. It needs momentum. But hold on. Isn't momentum just mass in motion? Momentum equals mass times velocity. If I throw a baseball, it has momentum because it's heavy and moving. If light has no mass, how can it have momentum? How can a ghost push you? This is where your intuition fails. We think of momentum as heavy things moving. But in the quantum world, momentum isn't about weight. It's about wavelength. It's about how much punch a wave packs. Think of it like sound. A loud bass speaker can shake your chest. Does sound have mass? No, but it has energy. It pushes air. Light does the same thing, but without the air. Let me show you exactly how this works. I want you to forget about particles for a second. Forget about tiny little balls flying through space. Instead, I want you to imagine an ocean, an infinite, invisible ocean that fills the entire universe. It's everywhere. It's inside your room. It's inside your body. It's in the deepest, darkest void of space. Physicists call this the electromagnetic field. Now, think about a wave in the ocean. When a wave moves across the water, does the water itself travel from the middle of the Pacific to the beach in California? No. The water molecules just bob up and down. They stay in roughly the same place. But the energy of the wave travels thousands of miles. It crashes on the shore with tremendous force. This is the key. Light is not a thing like a baseball. It is not a solid object moving through empty space. Light is a ripple in the electromagnetic field. When you turn on a light bulb, you aren't shooting tiny bullets. You are shaking the field. You are creating a disturbance. This disturbance travels outward at the speed of light. And just like an ocean wave can knock you over without the water itself moving forward, a light wave can push an object without having any mass of its own. It carries momentum without carrying mass. This is why light can travel through a vacuum. It doesn't need air. It doesn't need water. It is the wave in the fabric of reality itself. It is pure energy in motion. But here is the weirdest part. In our world, waves usually need a medium. Sound needs air. Ocean waves need water. Light needs nothing. It travels through the vacuum of space, carrying energy, carrying momentum. But physically, it isn't there. It is a ghost wave. And because it has no mass to slow it down, it travels at the fastest speed possible, the speed of causality. But if it hits something, oh, you better believe it hits hard. So how exactly does a wave with zero mass kick a solid object? Let's look at the mechanism. Let's be precise. How do you kick a ghost? Remember that solar sail I mentioned, the one NASA uses? It works. It really, really works. We shine a giant laser at a huge reflective sheet in space. The laser hits it, and the spaceship accelerates. Wait, if I throw a ping pong ball at a wall, it bounces back. It pushes the wall. Why? Because the ball has mass. Force equals change in momentum divided time, and momentum equals mass times velocity. So if mass is zero, momentum should be zero. Force should be zero. The sail shouldn't move. But it does. This is the ghost momentum paradox. Here is the answer that will break your brain. Momentum isn't just mass times velocity. That's the high school definition. In the real universe, momentum is related to wavelength. Think about a guitar string. Pluck the low E string. Bum. It vibrates slowly, low energy. Pluck the high E string. Ping. It vibrates fast, high energy. Now imagine light is a vibrating string. Blue light vibrates fast. Red light vibrates slow. The faster it vibrates, the shorter its wavelength, the more momentum it packs. It doesn't need mass to punch you, it needs frequency. A gamma ray has a super high frequency. It hits like a truck. Radio waves have a low frequency. They pass through you like a gentle breeze. So when a photon hits that solar sail, it's not a tiny marble bouncing off. It's a packet of pure vibration, transferring its energy into the material. It kicks the electrons in the sail. Wham! And because every action has an equal and opposite reaction, the sail gets pushed forward. Light is literally punching matter with pure math. But if light is just energy moving, what does the universe look like from the photon's perspective? Spoiler, it doesn't look like anything, because time has stopped. Let's talk about being lazy. Laziness is one of the most important concepts in physics. We call it inertia. It's the reason why a heavy car is hard to push. It's the reason why a bullet hurts. Mass is basically a measure of how much the universe wants you to stay put. But light? Remember, light has zero mass. That means it has zero laziness. It has absolutely no resistance to motion. So what happens when something has zero resistance? It moves instantly. It doesn't accelerate. A car goes 0 to 60. Light goes 0 to 186,000 miles per second, instantly. It literally cannot stand still. Matter, like you, me, and that bowling ball, we are sluggish. We are stuck moving slow because our mass holds us back. We are dragging an anchor. Light has no anchor. It travels at the universal speed limit, not because it wants to, but because nothing is stopping it. In fact, physicists don't really like calling it the speed of light. That's just a label. The speed limit is actually the speed of causality. It is the fastest speed any information can travel in our universe. If the sun exploded right now, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes. Gravity travels at this speed. Light travels at this speed. Why? Because they have no mass to slow them down. But here is where things get really weird. If light is traveling at the maximum possible speed, what happens to time? According to Einstein, the faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. If you travel at 99% the speed of light, time slows down to a crawl. But if you hit 100%, if you hit c, time stops completely. It freezes. And for a photon, the universe is a very strange place. Let's talk about being a ghost. Close your eyes. Imagine you are a photon. You are born in the heart of a star. You travel for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. You hit the Earth. That journey took 8 minutes. We saw it happen. We timed it. But for you, for the photon, 0 time passed. Z-E-R-O. According to Einstein, the faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. If you reach the speed of light, c, time stops completely, frozen. To a photon, the moment it is created and the moment it hits your eye are the exact same moment. The entire universe is squashed flat into a single instant. Distance becomes 0. A photon doesn't experience travel. It is instantly everywhere along its path. It doesn't have a past. It doesn't have a future. It just is. And because it experiences no time, it cannot decay. It cannot age. It cannot die. A photon created at the Big Bang is just as fresh today as it was 13.8 billion years ago. This is why I call it ghost energy. It exists outside of time. It haunts the universe forever until it hits something. And when it hits something, it vanishes. Poof. Its energy is absorbed. It becomes heat. It becomes motion. It becomes part of you. But wait, if energy cannot be created or destroyed, where did the mass come from? If light has no mass, but it can turn into heat, which has energy, does that mean we can turn light into matter? Can we make a rock out of pure sunlight? Yes, and we've done it. Let's build a universe in a box. Imagine a perfect mirror box. Reflects 100%. Nothing escapes. The box is empty. Weigh it. It's light. Now, shine a flashlight into a tiny hole and seal it shut. The light bounces around inside forever. Ping, 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 zillions of times a second. Now weigh the box again. Is it heavier? Your brain says, no way. Light has 0 mass. 0 plus 0 is 0. Wrong. The box is heavier. Wait, what? This is Einstein's greatest magic trick. E equals mc squared. Energy is mass. Mass is energy. They are the same thing in different costumes. When you trapped that energy inside the box, the energy couldn't leave. It added inertia to the box. It made the box harder to push. It literally created mass out of nothing but trapped light. In fact, most of your mass comes from this exact trick. Your body is made of atoms. Atoms are made of protons and neutrons. Protons are made of quarks. But here is the kicker. The quarks themselves have almost 0 mass, like 1% of the proton's weight. Where does the other 99% come from? The energy of the gluons holding the quarks together. The energy zipping around inside the proton at near light speed creates the mass. You are not made of stuff. You are made of trapped energy. You are a box of bouncing light. You are literally a ghost trapped in a cage. Let's go deeper. You look in the mirror. You see a solid object, a human body. But I just told you that 99% of your mass is trapped energy. What about the other 1%? The quarks? The electrons? Surely they are solid, right? Wrong. If you zoom in on an electron, you don't find a tiny billiard ball. You don't find a hard little nugget of matter. You find a vibration, a smear, a ghost. Quantum mechanics tells us that particles aren't things. They are excitations in a field. Think of a guitar string again. When you pluck it, a note appears. The note is real. You can hear it. You can record it. But is the note a physical object? Can you put a C# in a jar? No. The note is just the string behaving a certain way. You are the note. The universe is the string. Every electron in your body is just the electromagnetic field vibrating at a specific frequency. Every quark is the gluon field vibrating. You are a symphony of fields. So when you touch a wall, you aren't touching matter. You are touching the electric field of the wall, pushing back against the electric field of your hand. Like two magnets repelling each other. You never actually touch anything. You float about a nanometer above every chair you sit on. So if matter is just trapped light, and you are matter, then what are you? You are light that learned to slow down. You are energy that got tangled up in knots. And this leads to the most mind-bending conclusion of all. If everything is just fields, and light is just a ripple in a field, then the universe isn't made of stuff and energy. It is made of one thing, information. Let's step back. We started this journey with a paradox. How can a zero-mass ghost push a solid object? And the answer is, there is no paradox, because solid objects are just ghosts too. The rock you threw at the wall, it's just trapped light. The wall, it's just trapped light. You are just trapped light. Matter is an illusion created by energy getting stuck in a loop. When light travels freely, it has zero mass. It is pure potential. It is the universe in motion. When light gets trapped, when it spins, when it binds quarks, when it forms atoms, it gains mass. It gains heaviness. It becomes matter. So mass is just the universe's way of storing energy for later. You are a battery. You are a storage device for starlight. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a dying star, from pure energy crushed into existence. And one day, when the protons decay, if they ever do, or when you fall into a black hole, that energy will be released. You will turn back into light. You will lose your mass. You will lose your time. You will become a ghost again, traveling the universe at the speed of causality, forever young, forever free. So the next time you feel the sun on your face, remember this. It's not just warmth. It's not just energy. It's a message from the universe reminding you of what you really are. You are not made of matter. You are made of light that decided to stay a while. And that is the most beautiful physics of all. Thanks for watching. If your mind is blown, hit that like button so the algorithm knows physics is cool. And if you want to know what actually traps that light, click here.